All right, now we're doing round 6. So at this point, I think you get the hang of kind of how we're doing this. So we'll do our 4 single crochets, and 1 in each one for the next 4, and then you'll do your increase. You'll do that all the way around to that last stitch. I'll meet you back at the end. So here we are coming to the very last repeat. I've already done my 4 single crochets, and my last one will be an increase. Oops. So I know that that should be right, but in case it's not, we will count them. So we should have 36 stitches at the end of this round. 7 through 13 will single crochet all the way around for the next 7 rounds. So that'll be nice and easy. This is usually my favorite of a pattern because you don't really have to focus too much on counting where all your stitches, as long as you stay single crocheting in each one. So let's just go around, all the way around. I just finished my first single crochet round, and you can already kind of tell we've got our bottom portion of our ball forming here. So like we've been doing for each round, usually we would pull the stitch marker out. But when I'm doing a repeat of the same thing, so we'll be doing 7 all the way to 13, I leave the stitch marker in so that I can keep track of where that started. So this is our 7th one, so I can see that. And so once we go a little further up, I'll be able to just count the rows. So I'll show you that at the once we get to that, but that's when I don't pull this out. So I wait until till we reached round 13 before we get to that, pulling this out. So continue doing your single crocheting all the way around, all the way till round 13. I will suggest, I know earlier I said that you don't usually have to count your stitches all the way around. If you're not 100% about if you're only single crocheting, I would suggest counting every single time you go around, just to make sure you were keeping those 36 stitches. Because I know in the beginning and first learning how to crochet, it can be very easy to accidentally increase or miss a stitch or skip, you know, and just accidentally get your stitch count off. So until you've gotten more confident that you are single crocheting in each stitch all the way around, I would definitely recommend each row counting to make sure you have 36. Just so that you're not going all the way up and making your circle wrong, or, you know, getting too small or making it look all wonky. So just another little side comment on that going forward. Just until you get really confident with your single crochets and actually making sure that you're going in the stitches. Because it would be really hard to do all those 7 and then find out that somewhere in all of that you messed up. So it's annoying to have to count, but it's worth it in the end when you don't have to undo everything that you just did. I just finished doing round 13. So we still have our stitch marker way down here. And this is why I said not to take it out, because then you can count. So this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you can be able to keep track of your rounds better. That's why I wait until I get to that 13th one before I pull this out. So you should be getting that circular look. Now don't worry if mine is much smaller or bigger than what yours is. It may have to depend on what kind of hook you're using and the yarn. I'm using on a thicker side of a 4 weight. So that'll affect how big your project will look. So don't worry if yours is a little bigger. As long as your stitch count and everything has been correct, don't worry about it. All right, now we've been growing. We create in the middle of our middle of our circle. So now we have to make it look like this on the other side. So in order to do that, we're going to start doing some decreasing. And it seems scarier than it actually is. It's not too bad. But first we will move our stitch marker. And we are going to single crochet in the next 4 stitches. So you do your single crochets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So now we'll do our decreasing. So to decrease, you insert your hook, grab your yarn, almost like you're going to do a single crochet, except instead of doing that yarn over, you're going to insert your hook into that next stitch. Grab your yarn, pull through. You'll have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3. So I don't know if you can tell, but you gathered those stitches that you worked into one. I don't know if you can see that. So it created only 1 stitch, so it subtracted a stitch. So we made our decrease. So I can show it to you again when we do the next one. So we'll do our 4 again, so we're repeating that. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're back to our decrease. You insert, grab your yarn. It's almost like you're doing a single crochet, but we're not. We're decreasing. So you'll insert into the next stitch, right next to the one we just worked in. Grab your yarn, pull through, and you'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through all 3. So that's your decreasing. So you'll repeat that all the way around until you reach your stitch marker. All right, we're coming up on the end of round 14. I just did my 4 single crochets, so my last 2 stitches should be that decrease, which it is. So remember, we do our counting. So sometimes what I have to do when I'm counting, once I get this far, is I'll pull quite a bit of my yarn like that to not lose where my stitches are. And then I'll just look at the top and count all the way around. So we should have 24. So now we're going down because we're decreasing. So we should be going down in stitches. So we should count our stitches all the way around, and we should have 30 stitches. So let's do our counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, and then this one's 30. So we've got, that's the loop that would be on our hook. So that stitch is 30. So we have 30 stitches. Now we'll be working on round 15. So we're supposed to single crochet in the next 3 stitches and then decrease. So do 1, 2, 3, and then remember our decrease. Yarn over, grab, insert, grab, move your 3, yarn over and pull through all 3. Then repeat your 3 single crochet and then your decrease. Do that all the way around to where your stitch marker is. I'm coming up on the end of round 15. I just did my 3 single crochets. I got my last 2 stitches here, so this will be our decrease. Now we'll do our counting. So we're supposed to have 24 stitches in this round. Now we're doing round 16. So move our stitch marker. Round 16, we'll just single crochet in the next 2 stitches, and then we'll do our decrease. I'll keep walking you through it if it's still difficult. So you still do your single crochet, 1, 2, and then your decrease, you grab it and pull, insert, grab it and pull through all 3. So do your 2 and then decrease all the way around to that stitch marker. I'll meet you guys at that end. So we're coming up right at the end of round 16. So we've got our single crochet, single crochet, And then we've got our decrease at the end here to tie it all off at that end. All right, now we need to be counting 18 stitches. We're getting smaller, we're getting there. So count, it's 18 stitches.